If you hear me say something, from Salisbury High School here in Allentown, Pennsylvania, hello everybody! It is Major League Football action with the Lehigh Valley Storm on the air, back home after a couple-week absence, as the Lehigh Valley Storm take on the Delaware legacy of, well, I guess they're from Delaware. Anyway, it's your DJ Crazy Tom here along with JJ, James Josephson. I'm trying to get myself wired up here. Of course, both teams coming off losses last week, both teams giving up 51 points last week. The Storm trying to use this game as a big-time barometer as to what's going to happen for this coming evening.
Well, both teams are coming off a loss last week. The Delaware Legacy went 1-1. They're 1-1 right now. They won their first game. They actually won on overtime. The opening kick return for a touchdown. They had a really big win. And then last week, they had a couple injuries. They had defensive ends playing offense, but they had a loss, and we had a big loss. So both teams are back and ready to go, and it's going to be a great game, in my opinion. And
as you mentioned 2 weeks ago, JJ, DeAndre Johnson, that's a guy you got to be careful of for the Legacy. Has a lot of speed and basically did the imitation of the Thanksgiving game between the Bears and the Lions when the Bears won in extra time, when the opening kickoff was returned for a touchdown. So the Storm have to really be disciplined today on special teams if they're going to have an advantage in this game.
Yeah, Johnson's a guy that not only can make big plays at the wide receiving core, but also he's their punt returner and kick returner, and he single-handedly won a game, their first game for them. So he's a guy that they have to watch out for and definitely keep intact.
And this is an important game in a way for both teams. I know the Legacy might be in a little bit of a tough position. Consider last week they were thoroughly outplayed by the two-time defending Major League Football champion Plainfield, New Jersey Wolves, losing by a count of 51-6. So I'm sure, for improvement's sake, the Legacy really have to focus on the Storm, who also have come off a bit of a tough loss, and try to do the best they can to keep it a competitive game.
Yeah, in my opinion, it's going to be competitive here early on. Definitely, I know that the Storm are going to want to have to make a lot of less mental mistakes. The Legacy run a veer option. They could also pound it inside the tackles and just line up. But it's going to be a real important game for the defensive ends of the Lehigh Valley Storm, Luther Wilson and Carl Kreider, and then the outside linebacker in Mike Kuzer, number 44, because in that veer option, they always have to be just really on tact and on point and know where the running back is and just do your job.
And I also feel, too, now, please understand that in today's broadcast, a lot of new numbers are changing around. Of course, the players pretty much are still the same, but they're getting more permanent numbers. So consider you may hear Mike Kuzer, whom we called number 80, and now he's gone down to 44 or something like that. I mean, people are moving around all over the place. For instance, Michael Thomas was 26. He's back down to his original number 8. So we're trying to figure everything out. Bobby Eppelman's wearing his third number in 5 weeks. So hopefully everything will kind of suit itself, so we have a little bit of a challenge on our hands.
Yeah, I won't have a problem with 47, Bobby Eppelman. That's what he wore when we played back at Susquehanna University. So that's a number that I'm known for him to have. And also, Bobby's going to be a huge weapon. He needs to have a huge game today for the Storm and keep the ball away from the very versatile punt returner and kick returner in Dre Johnson.
And I think that's a very important thing, too. And, of course, Jimmy LeHue, who had a decent game but not great game in regards to the Storm. I mean, LeHue had 2 touchdowns last week in passing, but unfortunately was under 50% in passing. I think LeHue has to be a little bit more mentally sharp in order for the Storm to do their thing.
Yeah, I talked to a couple guys today on my Monday night and Thursday night show, and everyone really they're just ready to be intact. And also, this week's practice was the most hitting and wrapping up that they've done all week, and that's something that they need, because last week they struggled wrapping up and bringing down defenders. So this week they did a lot of hitting, and head coach Bob Kohler made sure that they're going to wrap up their guys, and that's something that they struggled last week with, especially with the jet rocket screen passes and the shovel pass.
And tonight, by the way, here at I forget what place is, Salisbury High School here in Allentown, the Lehigh Valley Storm, they're focusing, of course, this is Judith Adele Foundation Night. To be more specific, it's the Judith Adele Agentis Charitable Foundation for Help, Hope, and Health. Trust me, if I try saying that 3 times fast, I'll probably get squandered here. But real quick, just to get out the football point a little bit, the Judith Adele Agentis Foundation is a charitable foundation established to provide meals to hospice centers and to provide testing, early detection, awareness, and education about pancreatic and liver and colon cancers. Now, as the Storm are starting to take the field, in like a minute, I think. Judy's Table provides, through food donations made by restaurants, bakeries, and grocery stores, meals to families visiting their loved ones in hospice, as well as the hospice staff who are unable to have regular meals often due to the performance of duties at the hospice. The food donations are solicited through the foundation and picked up and delivered to the hospice by volunteers. Now, since pancreatic cancer shows little or no symptoms until late stages, the Foundation will urge individuals to be screened and provide for payment of tests such as a CAT scan, X-rays, and MRIs and colonoscopies to at-risk individuals who cannot secure a medical script for the procedure or do not have medical insurance and cannot afford for payment of the tests. Payments for the tests will be secured through donations solicited from individuals, corporations, and businesses. The tests will be administered through participating radiology centers, both private and institutional. Now, of course, for more information on this foundation, you can check out JAACF.org. Once again, the website, JAACF.org, and I will be certain to mention this a little bit more throughout our broadcast this evening. I don't know if you have anything else to extrapolate on that.
Yeah, I actually talked to the CEO and founder of the Judith Adele Foundation. He goes by a guy by the name of Bob Agentis, and it was actually his wife, Judith, who passed away after 31 days. She was diagnosed December 8th, and then passed away in January. It was 31 days after, and that's why he started the foundation. It's just been a great upbringing and a great foundation. Obviously, I talked to him for 15 minutes during my show on Thursday, and he couldn't be any more happy that Lehigh Valley Storm are dedicating a whole night to him. And I just want to say thank you to him and all the doctors and everything that goes into everything that goes on in this foundation.
Okay, as Lehigh Valley Storm are ready to take the sideline, I'll go ahead and take the microphone, and we'll deal with our pregame ceremonies before we get started with today's game. So hang on tight, folks. Hey, folks. Yes, this is Storm Techno. You can keep it playing, you know. Anyway, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We welcome you to Salisbury High School here in Allentown, Pennsylvania, for this evening's Major League Football matchup between the visiting Delaware Legacy and the Lehigh Valley Storm. This is your DJ Crazy Tom taking over the pregame before giving it to the public address guy. I, of course, will tell you that we'd like to thank everybody for being here this evening, especially our friends from Delaware who made the trip. The Legacy are 1-1 on the season. The Storm come in at 3-1. Both teams coming off losses last week. By the way, the public address guy is Anthony Larkin, just so I'll introduce you properly to him.
That's on film, yeah? Oh, we're not recording. Pre-game warm-up.
By the way, while we have a second, the Storm, they're right now in their end zone. Will be run momentarily. You got a prediction for the game, JJ?
I don't want to steal your prediction, but I'm going to go in the same area that you did in 42-7. I really think it's going to be close maybe early on, but I think that the Storm are going to break away getting into the second half of this football game.
Well, I mean, you're saying it'll be a convincing win. Now, of course, I didn't appear on his show Thursday night because other commitments conflicted for the second Thursday night in a row. But, I mean, I said 42-7, a bounce-back win for the Storm. But remember, any prediction could probably just go out the window for all we know. I mean, I learned that last year around this time. And then, of course, we had to deal with a whole bunch of other things that came about as well. So, I really think this is an important game for the Storm. Do your job and get ready for a good Spartan team next week. But the Legacy come first.
Yeah, of course. It's definitely coming off a big loss last week to a very good football team. The Storm, all week I've been noticing that they want to bounce back and they want to make a statement that they didn't just win 3 games and then get a loss and they're not the team to beat still. They're going to come out strong and smart and play this team very hard tonight.
Okay. I think the Storm are about to make their way toward the sideline, so let me go back and take care of the opening ceremonies.
Hey, can you guys announce that the concession stand's open and that there's merchandise for sale?
Yeah, sure.
So,
Ladies and gentlemen, just so you know, the concession stand is open and merchandise is for sale, just so you know. Now, before we get started with anything, ladies and gentlemen, before any coin toss happens, at this time, we'd like to ask everyone to please rise, and gentlemen, please remove your hats. Please direct your attention to the school side where I'm not sure there's a flag. Yes, there is, as a matter of fact. Let's take a moment to remind ourselves why we're here, for the fans who support this team, and of course, for everyone who plays this game. We know none of this would be possible without the people who continue to fight for our country, whether it be in the 50 states or around the world. Those people are our troops. If you're a veteran here with us today, please salute. We thank you for your service to our country, and always remember those who gave their lives in making this country the free one that it is today. With your kind indulgence, let's take a moment for a brief invocation. Dear God in heaven, we thank you as always for this day. We thank you for the teams that are here before us and all the fans who continue to support them. Please bless everyone, that everyone has a wonderful game and the fans have a wonderful time. We know without you, Lord, nothing is possible. We know there are more high-risk things going on this planet. We especially pray for those in Missouri and those suffering from very violent stuff outside of St. Louis. We pray for peace and calm in those areas as well as everywhere else. Let's bless everybody that nobody gets hurt in today's contest. And regardless of how this score comes out tonight, may we pray for fellowship and peace within ourselves and one another. And may we have safe travel wherever we may be headed tonight. We pray for this and for all things in Jesus' name. Amen. If you would please remain standing as we continue to honor America, let us now bring you our national anthem. And no applause from anybody? My goodness, let's get fired up. We got football coming up. The Lehigh Valley Storm, the Delaware Legacy. They're coming right on up, so hang in there, folks.
Yeah, he's down in the ticket booth going, tell them to go up there and make sure they announce the concession stands open. Keep doing it.
Okay, I'm back here. Obviously, just this quick reminder that here on Lehigh Valley Storm and Storm Radio, we always play a national anthem, making sure you're part of the experience, even if you can't make it to the game. Hey, unlike a lot of professional teams who put commercials on through the anthem, we do the anthem as a service, of course, to why we're here and proud to live in this country. As always, we remind you to support the troops. And now we caught JJ in a little silence. The coin toss is about to be held. The Delaware Legacy and the Lehigh Valley Storm are going to give us a challenge. Both are wearing black uniforms. The difference, the Storm, they're wearing white numerals, and the Legacy are wearing yellow numerals. So we're going to need some serious eyesight here. So we're going to have a few eye doctors set, especially with our sponsors. And I don't think the chiropractic center would help with our eyes, but you know. We'll figure it out one way or the other, JJ. What are the keys to tonight's game?
The keys to the game, though, are for the Storm defense, just to watch out for the veer offense, the defensive ends and the outside linebackers, just to make sure that they do what they've done and that's what they were taught all week. Stopping the veer option is very tough, and they just have to stay in mentally, know what their assignment is. And for the Delaware Legacy, it's just going to be to stop the high-powered offense of the Lehigh Valley Storm. They have a big front seven, very good against the run, but they could have they could have trouble stopping the fast-paced offense of this Lehigh Valley Storm.
Well, of course, the Storm got slowed up by a very good Albany Metro Moeller team who won 51-27 last week. Hopefully, the Storm will have it like in the real rearview mirror from last week and not have this hangover, because if it hangs over on them, this could be a tough night.
Yeah, if they forgot about what happened last week, they're going to come out and they're going to play the football that they know how to play. But hopefully during the week, the coaching staff, after they watch the film and analyze the game, told this team that, hey, listen, we're 3-1 and we're still atop of the Northern Division in the MLF standings, and we have a Delaware Legacy good football team that we have to worry about, and we just have to go out here and punch them in the mouth from the start of the game and do what we do best, and that's play Lehigh Valley Storm football.
And I think that's going to be very key here, because the Legacy did win the toss. They refused the second half, so the Storm will get the ball first. They'll be traveling left to right, the Legacy right to left, and we'll switch sides in the second quarter.
Yeah, so it's yellow numbers versus white numbers here, so it's going to be tough for us, and actually might have some impact on the game being out there on the field. But I have a feeling right now that the Storm are going to come out and start early on their home turf and do what they do best against this Delaware Legacy team who's coming off a big loss last week.
Well, we both did, so somebody's going to rise up through the ashes here. So, I mean, I said 42-7. Are you saying around there or what?
I don't want to copy you completely, but I'm definitely going to back you up on that 42-7 prediction.
Okay, so we'll have to wait and see what happens on this one. Don't mind me, I'm running back and forth here, but Pepsi is proud to be broadcasting online Lehigh Valley Storm football via Storm Radio and Hot101.net. Remember, Pepsi, the major sponsor for Lehigh Valley Storm football. See what's now and on the verge by going to Pepsi.com and feeling the real big summer of the Pepsi Pulse. So, obviously we have other sponsors such as Shruti Pub and Restaurant, the Scott family of dealerships, Kula Children's Center, and I'm sure plenty of others will mention here. This is Judith Adele Foundation Night here at Salisbury High School, and we're going to be reading some more regarding the foundation soon. By the way, their website, if you want more information, jaacf.org. So I believe the officials are ready to ring things up. Both teams coming up pretty substantial losses last week. Let's see who will come out on top first. Remember, we have some different numbers we're trying to get to you. Tajmir Flood is back there. We can't see who the other ones are.
Chris White and Yusuf Reddick.
Oh, yeah, Chris Stubb White is there, and Yusuf Reddick. Chris White, I think he's wearing 88, if I'm not mistaken. He wore that last...
7.
Oh, he's wearing... Wait a minute, Tajmir Flood I thought was 7.
No, 87.
87. Oh, we'll get it. Or we're gonna get it. It's gonna be one of those days. All right, rep blows the whistle, and here we go. The kickoff. Speaking of Chris White, he's gonna take it to about the 12-yard line, far side. Now make his move to about the 20. Breaks a tackle. Goes to the 30. Still running. Look out. To the 40. To midfield. Look at him go to the 40. And down to the 37-yard line. Big time return by Chris Stubb White, tackled by David Thompson, and a Storm will have tremendous field position to begin things at the 38-yard line to Delaware Legacy.
It reminded me a lot of last week. Yusuf Reddick had a lot of big returns up in Albany, and Chris White almost took that back to the house to start this game. You know that. Watch for the offense right now to come out and try and go deep against this big front seven for the Delaware Legacy.
Okay, well, it'll be interesting to see how the Storm come out. Now, remember, they're a no-huddle offense, so we're going to have to do what Chip Kelly tried to do. It took him almost the first quarter to get going after last night.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah. Anyway, hopefully not a college basketball score at the end, but who knows. 1st and 10, Storm at the Legacy 38-yard line with Jimmy LeHue in the Pistolero to start things off. He's going to hand it off. Sean Myers around the right side. Doesn't have too much room, but is brought down at the 36-yard line. Tackled, I believe, by Sebastian Wilson. Now, the Legacy said there were going to be a few changes in their roster. Unfortunately, I don't think we quite got them. So if we announce the wrong name, I apologize in advance, but we got to deal with what we got to deal with.
We got to do what we got to do. So if the name's there, that's what we're going to say. But Lehigh Valley Storm are trying to get the run game started off hot in the beginning of this game.
And once more, the Pistolero with Ridley and Sean Myers, whom we didn't really call much, if at all, in last week's game. 2nd and we'll say 8, maybe 7 from the 36-yard line. So here in the Pistolero, hands off to Ridley, breaks a tackle, crosses the 30, 25, down to the 24-yard line before being tackled by Dion Williams. That's going to be a first down for the Storm after a gain of 12.
And that's the first I've seen from the Storm this season, having, Raheem Ridley and Sean Myers in the backfield there. So obviously against a big front seven, to open up that pass, you got to establish the run, and that's what Bob Kohler and Lehigh Valley Storm are trying to do here.
And it's 1st and 10 for the Storm at the Legacy. I think it's 22-yard line, actually. So Ridley's run was for 14 yards. He and Sean Myers look like they're going to line up in split backs, and Lehigh will split them in a shotgun formation. 3 wide slot to the left this time. Agam Moore in the left side slot. Lehigh looks over everybody, waiting for the snap, gets it, short drop, fires, pass caught, and that is up. I can't even get him. Jaleel Clark to the 10, and he scores. Welcome to the end zone. Jaleel Clark very quickly, a 24-yard touchdown strike, Lehigh's 13th touchdown pass of the year, and a Storm strike first, just like that.
They love that little post inside. Jaleel Clark just took a nice little skinny post for a touchdown. Nice throw from quarterback Jim Lehigh. And I actually asked on my pregame show on Thursday night, I asked Mike Kuzer, number 44, the outside linebacker, who's going to have a huge game for the Storm tonight. And the first guy that he said was number 9, Jaleel Clark. So he got into the end zone there early on, and good start for the Storm.
Indeed. Now, the extra point, we got flags down first. Whistle blew before the snap. By the way, Bobby Eppelman, who went from number 85 to number 15, is now wearing number 47 for the Storm. So a 3-play, 38-yard drive, and Jaleel Clark, I believe, catches his 4th touchdown of the year, if I'm not mistaken. 24 yards from Jimmy Lehigh. As we would both put it, that didn't take long.
No.
Now we're waiting for the extra point to happen with Eppelman. Caleb Fick, who's wearing number 2 instead of 13, he will hold. Here's the snap, the extra point on its way, and he gets it. It is good. So, as for the Lehigh Valley Storm, great start, as we had hoped. They take a 7-0 lead just 2.5 minutes into this ballgame.
Just what the coaching staff drew up. A hell of a return from Chris White, number 87, and then they ran a little power run to Sean Myers, and then Raheem Ridley, and then found number 9, Jaleel Clark, on a little skinny post for a touchdown. And 2.5 minutes in on their home turf, and this is what the Storm do, and they got to be excited for the start that they're having right now. And here comes the high-powered defense after this kickoff, and you know that they want to have a good game after letting up 51 points last week up in Albany.
And I think it's a huge thing for the Storm to get themselves going the way they were going to try to, and now we're going to see how the defense will respond. And I think that's going to be key, because you know how bitter the defense is after giving up 51 points last week against a very good Albany Metro Mauler team. They really have to shut it down, and shut it down early.
Yeah, nothing really clicked for them last week on the offense, defense, or special teams. So knowing that they let up all those points after only letting up 9 in the first 3 games, this defense is going to be hungry, and they're going to be ready to go and try and stop this high-powered veer offense that the Delaware Legacy run.
Okay, Bobby Eppelman about to approach the tee for the kickoff here. And he sends this one high and end over end on the far side. Looks like Teddy Maxian midway through the end zone. He'll take it out. Running far side, crossing the 10. He will get to maybe the 16-yard line, but he was tackled in a horse collar fashion, and flags are going to go down. That might add another 15 yards to the return.
Yeah, the kickoff team has been good for the Storm all season, but it's penalties like that you don't want. Going down and trying to make a tackle there at the 20-yard line, keeping them at a good field position at 15 yards, depending on the penalty, is not the start that this team wanted.
Exactly. So, with the ball taken at about the, I think, the 16-yard line, 15 more yards on the play, that kind of hampers the field position right there. So
face mask.
Yeah, I thought it was a horse guy. Whatever it was, it's still a major penalty, 15 yards, and the ball will be spotted at the 31-yard line. So the Legacy, who we thought were going to be pinned deep in their own territory, actually catch a break because of another mental mistake. And as you mentioned, JJ, that's one thing they really got to cut down. That got to fire the defense up to ensure they got to make sure they stay out of the end zone.
Exactly. Yeah, they're going to have to keep an eye on this veer option now and a very athletic quarterback. So I'm interested to see what the Storm are going to handle that.
Okay, 1st and 10. The ball spotted the 31-yard line, trying to see who their quarterback is. It's a backup quarterback because their main one couldn't be here today for personal reasons. Here's a handoff along the left side, and not very much there, as getting flattened maybe for a 1-yard loss. I can't see his number. It looks like number 39, and go figure, we don't have a 39 on the roster. Remember, we got this off the Delaware Legacy Football Facebook page.
Number 64.
So the tackle made by Cordell Morgan. So still a 2-yard loss in 2nd and 12.
Yeah, we're not sure who made the play, but it was a nice play, and Lehigh Valley Storm defense pushing him back, and that's what they got to do. Come out early and come out strong and play the game that they know how to play.
Brian Arroyo also was in on that. It is 2nd and 12 from the 34-yard line. David Thompson, I believe, is the quarterback. They have numbers in the back. He has a number on the back, but not on the front. No, it's 17. I'm sorry. They hand it up the middle, and a nice block to about the 35-36-yard line. Looks like, we're going to say it's David Thompson because Isham Poe, he's the main quarterback, but he is not with the team today. So we're going to say David Thompson, 17. I have no clue who exactly had the handoff, but we're just going to go by who we got and say that's a gain of probably about 7 or 8 yards there, and the Legacy have a 3rd and 4.
And they keep mentioning that veer option, but right there they just ran in between the tackles, and the huge block from the fullback there on the linebacker, and they really just punch it in to make it a convertible 3rd down attempt.
I think there's going to be some ball control. That's going to be an issue here today, but anyway, it is 3rd and 4 from the 37-yard line for the Legacy. A receiver on each side, I formation for their quarterback, and now everybody jumps, and the Storm are saying the Legacy jumped. The Legacy say the Storm jumped. So who's right? It's actually the Storm that were right. False start on the Legacy, and that's a big 5-yard penalty. So this almost ensures 3rd and 9 will be a passing down.
Yeah, and it actually kind of looked like neutral zone infraction to me there, but they caught a break. So it's going to be a 3rd and 9 coming up for the Delaware Legacy, and they might be passing for the first time this game. So guys like Tajmir Flood and Stephen Lewis and Rodney Gilmore really have to be ready and on their toes because they have a lot of playmakers outside this Legacy team.
Okay, so it is 3rd and 9 for the Legacy. They're at the 32-yard line. By the way, feel free to check in, hashtag LVStorm check-in, and let us know where you're listening from. If you have us live here on Storm Radio and Hot101.net. 3rd and 9 from the 32-yard line. Looks like Thompson is in the shotgun, or is it Corbin Bailey? They have a 3rd quarterback on there, and I'm not sure whose is who. Well, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Here's the snap. Back he goes, running. He'll throw to the left, and the pass through the hands of Teddy Maxian. Incomplete. That was the intended receiver. Probably would have been short for 1st down anyway, but the Legacy ended up going 3 and out.
Yeah, 3 and out right there, and that's what the Storm wanted to do, giving up that 51 points last week. That's what they want to do, come out and make a couple nice plays. And this Legacy offense, even though it was a 3 and out there, you can tell they have a couple playmakers, and that was an on-target pass to number 81, Teddy Maxian, and if he caught it, it would have been a 1st down.
Well, I also think this has some resemblance to the season opener against the Northeast Philly Eagles, where I think their running back, Somerville, was the one that was pounding the Storm, especially early on in the game, and I thought we were going to see a little bit more of that. So I think the Storm defense have to be careful, because if the Legacy get a charge in the offensive line, that could wear down the Storm if it's a ball possession game.
Yeah, because this is a big offensive line for the Legacy, and they have a lot of playmakers, so it's a big 3 and out there.
All right, here on 4th down, here's the punt. High and end over end. They'll be taken by Reddick at the 33. He breaks a tackle. He'll run the far side to about the 40. Oh, big block there. That's going to be an illegal block to the 40 inside for the Legacy, and now back to the 37. It looked like the block was legal on the side, but the back judge says no. It's going to be a 10-yard penalty for an illegal block. It looked to be a good one to me, but evidently the official says no.
Yeah, and I don't see a 57 on the roster here, but it looked like he got his helmet to the inside, and it didn't look like a clip to me, a legal block, but they called it, and it's going to be sending the Lehigh Valley Storm back into their own territory to start this drive.
So they'll end up getting it probably about the 33-yard line. That was a very nice return by Yusuf Reddick. Unfortunately, he loses that return yardage because of the illegal block. We'll try and figure out who 57 is.
This kid is Paul. He is playing.
Oh, he is playing?
Yeah, he right before the game, Steve. I thought I wrote it down. He is playing 57.
Okay, so we can just circle. It's Paul Bolden, who's number 57. He was the one who gets called for the penalty. And the Storm will have to end up starting in their own territory, 1st and 10. from the 33-yard line. 6 minutes gone the first quarter, 7-0 Storm lead. Lehigh in the shotgun on 1st and 10. Ball be spotted at 31. End around to Yusuf Reddick. He has a hold of the 35. Gets to about the 40 before a nice tackle by what looks to be Sayer Alexander brings him down. And maybe for a 10-yard gain, we'll see where they spot the ball. Could be a first down. And the official says, yes, it is a first down.
I love when they give that little jet sweep to Yusuf Reddick. He's flying. He can score from anywhere on the field. There's a nice block by number 8, Michael Thomas.
All right, in the no huddle. In motion, Michael Thomas on 1st and 10, but the official says, wait a minute. We have a timeout called by the Delaware Legacy, their first time out of the half.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting. The Storm defense came out, and here comes the offense. And like I keep mentioning, the big front seven for the Legacy is definitely going to stop the run a lot, but these wide receivers out on the outside, I think that they're going to have trouble with.
Okay, so right now the Storm seem to be getting themselves pretty good shape in the first 4 plays. Of course, the only score so far, the 24-yard touchdown strike from Jimmy Lehigh to Jaleel Clark, Lehigh's 13th touchdown pass of the year. That's why the Storm leads 7-0 with 8:23 left in the first quarter.
Yeah, and I think Lehigh's going to be back on target and do what he does all season here. So this Legacy team they're real big up front. I think the biggest front seven I've seen all season so far. So it's going to be interesting to see how they open them up and try and use their speed to the disadvantage of the big guys on the Legacy defense.
Okay, so it is 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Michael Thomas lines up in the right slot. He's the one with the pink cloth next to Jaleel Clark. 4 receivers. Single setback is Raheem Ridley. Now Thomas goes in motion. Oops! And now flags down, which looked like the Legacy went with a running start unless the Storm jumped, and they did. False start against the Storm. Legacy are very blitz happy, so that's probably why the Storm offensive line needs to be ready.
Yeah, the left side of the Storm offensive line jumped, and they got happy feet there. Legacy big guys up front were showing blitz, so that's something that they have to keep an eye on all game.
Hope they didn't see the movie before this game. Or the sequel.
I've actually never seen it.
Well... Hey, different strokes for different folks on that one. But anyway, 1st and 15, ball spot at the 36-yard line as Lehigh in the shotgun, again going 4 receivers, double slot, single setback, Raheem Ridley to the right of Lehigh. He waits for the shotgun snap to come about. Waiting, there it is. Takes the snap, couple snaps, throws on the middle, pass caught by Rack in midfield, breaks the tackle, 45, stays on his feet. Stunner moved to the 40, 35, 32-yard line before finally being brought down. Look, I can't see who it was. Number 29, who of course is not on the list, but whoever he is, he made the touchdown saving tackle. That's a 38, wow, it's a 28-yard gain rather, and a first down for the Storm.
He's small, Yusuf Reddick, number 3, but every time he touches it, he's making those little shifty moves, and I had him on my show on Thursday night, and he's so excited to get out here and prove himself that he's ready to have a big game.
Not a bad first step. In the pistolero, single setback, 1st and 10 for Lehigh. Storm at the 32 of Delaware. Lehigh will throw deep left side. He's got Devon Gordon down there and in. Welcome to the end zone. Devon Gordon. It just seems like he catches a touchdown every single game. The Storm double their lead as Lehigh gets a 2nd touchdown of the quarter.
And that's Devon Gordon's 6th touchdown of the season here in the 4th game. And in my opinion, Lehigh's favorite receiver, and he actually just beat his cornerback, and he was wide open. Lehigh threw it right on the button for a touchdown, and a great jump and early start for Jimmy Lehigh in this football game.
Boy, I'll tell you what, the Storm, they're coming out with all cylinders blazing here. As we have 7:04 left here in the first quarter, Bobby Eppelman comes on for the extra point with Kellifick holding. Let's see what happens here. Here's the snap, and the extra point on its way, and the kick is good. So it's 7:04 left here in the first quarter. The Lehigh Valley Storm looking mighty good right now, leading 14-0 over the Delaware Legacy.
And they're playing their game out here on their home turf at Salisbury High School in Allentown, and every time I've been here, they just play great football here. I want to run through a couple sponsors in tonight's game. It's Pepsi and Strudy's Pub and Restaurant, located 1853 North Hampton Street in Easton, Pennsylvania. Also, Scott's Family of Dealership, Scott Lott, Scott Chevrolet, Scott Cadillac, Scott Mazda, and Scott Volvo. All lots are located on Lehigh Street in Allentown, Pennsylvania. Also, Kula Children's Center, meeting your child care needs. Also, all three of us are alumni of Connecticut School of Broadcasting, 2 in Hasbrook Heights location, and then Crazy Tom in Cherry Hill, New Jersey.
Hey, you remember that?
And they're celebrating 50 years of excellence, and that's Connecticut School of Broadcasting. But getting back to this football game, the Storm are up 14-0 early on here, and kind of what I expected, coming out and punching them in the mouth early on.
Well, by the way, one more thing on the Connecticut School Broadcast. You want more details? Just go to GoCSB.com. It's a website, or call toll-free 800-TV-RADIO. Again, the website, GoCSB.com, or call toll-free 800-TV-RADIO. Here's the kickoff by Eppelman. It'll be taken by what look to be 2 people. It's going to be number 1. That will be taking it to the near side. And boy, the Storm special teams slaughter. He didn't get inside the 10-yard line. Boy, what a job by the Storm special teams, being led by number 26, whom was Michael Thomas, is somebody else now. And it's Eric Robinson. He's the one who made the tackle.
Eric Robinson and Brian Arroyo, they're really leading the charge on this kickoff team all season, but really flying down there and getting off their, shedding their blockers and just making a big play. And now they're going to be backed up into their own, 8? About the 8-yard line here, so the Storm defense are ready to attack once again.
Or as NFL Blitz would say, deep in their own territory.
That's a great call.
well, hopefully that announcer wouldn't mind. We'll have some scores for you as well. We understand the Tri-State Bulldogs, they have a 16-7 lead over the New Jersey Longhorns. That game in the late stages of the first quarter, so Tri-State trying to bounce back after a bit of a slow start for the season. Meanwhile, for the Delaware Legacy, who, as I said, came in 1-1 going into this game, 1st and 10 from their own 8-yard line. They're going to hand it off up the middle. That's number 23, Sebastian Wilson, and he did not get much. He may have just gone back to the line of scrimmage, and that is it to make it 2nd and 10.
Yeah, fullback dive there, and the defensive end, Luther Wilson combo, also with the defensive tackle, really just set up a wall, and there was nowhere to go there, and great job on the by the defensive line on 1st down.
And just a reminder, of course, Lehigh Valley Storm football is presented by Pepsi. See what's now and on the verge by going to Pepsi.com and feeling the real big summer of the Pepsi Pulse. So we're coming up on 5:45 left in the first quarter, 14-0 in favor of the Lehigh Valley Storm. The Legacy on their second possession, 2nd and 10 from their own 8-yard line. As we're coming to you from Salisbury High School here in Allentown. This is interesting. They have somebody lined up as a tight end that has no number on it. I have seen everything now in semi-pro. Anyway, here's the snap. Going back as a quarterback. In trouble, and down he goes! He gets run over at about the 2-yard line, and the man responsible for that is Paul Bolden, who he crossed out. Now we need to get some white out to write him back in.
Yeah, him and Arroyo, he was sent on a blitz there, but that kid Bolden just flew in and got right to the quarterback, and they're moving backwards, this Delaware Legacy football team.
And that is a Storm Surge sack, and of course that's brought to you by the Scott family of dealerships, the Scott Lot, Scott Chevrolet, Scott Cadillac, Scott Mazda, and Scott Volvo, with all lots located on Lehigh Street in Allentown, Pennsylvania. It is 3rd and, 14, I think it is. Ball is spotted from, I'd say, the 4-yard line. The Legacy really taking their time right now, trying to get to the line of scrimmage. Coming up on 4.5 minutes left here in the first quarter. We're okay right now with the charger if necessary. But anyway, with a lot of moving around by the Legacy here on 3rd and 14. Legacy at their 4-yard line, so we could be seeing a safety if they're not careful. Quarterback under center, single setback, goes back. He's looking, he's under a rush, in trouble, and he is going to go down! It's going to be a safety! Touchdown. Or is it a touchdown? What the heck happened here?
I think it was a forced fumble once again by who else? Michael Kuzer, number 44. Recovered by number 6, Joe Davis. Every time he gets a sack, it's a fumble with this kid, Mike Kuzer.
And in this case, welcome to the end zone. I'm kicking the door in.
Yeah, I didn't even see that. That just happened so fast.
And I thought the quarterback went down for a safety, but instead, whoops, here, I'll handle that. That's 6 free points and basically -6 yards on the fumble return for a touchdown. Mike Kuzer, who happens to be the defensive whiz when it comes to turnovers. I mean, he recovered 2 of them last week against Albany. Here he strips the ball, and Joe Davis gets credit for the 6 points. How about that? Anyway, on to the extra point by Bobby Eppelman here. I tell you what, that's just something else. Here's the snap. Extra point is up, and it is good. Flags are down. Let's see what this is all about. Describe that play once again.
Well, that was Mike Kuzer. It was actually kind of just like last week. I thought it was going to be a sack brought down for safety, and it looks like he just ripped the football out of the quarterback's hands, and Joe Davis is recovering. It seems like every single game, Mike Kuzer either is forcing fumbles or recovering fumbles, and being that you're an outside linebacker, it seems like he gets his hands on the ball every single game.
Wow. And like I said, last week against Albany, he recovered 2 fumbles. Unfortunately, in both those situations, the Storm didn't come away with points as the Storm fumbled the ball the way toward the end of the first half, and then Eppelman missed the field goal, a real turning point of last week's game. But here, the Storm, they're playing feed frenzy right now. 2 touchdowns in the air by Jimmy LeHue, 1 to Jaleel Clark, 1 to Devon Gordon, and then Joe Davis, and I'll take that, stripping the ball out of the quarterback's hands in the end zone, actually forced by Michael Kuzer, and wow. 21-0 with 4:01 left in the first quarter.
If I'm not mistaken, that's the first Lehigh Valley Storm safety of the season.
You mean defensive touchdown?
Oh yeah. I'm sorry. I meant that. Yeah. All right. I got thrown off there. I thought it was going to be a safety, but it was a defensive touchdown. They've had their offense backed in. They've had offenses backed in to the goal line all season, so that's a huge play by Kuzer and Joe Davis of the defense.
It most certainly is, as Eppelman now kicks it off high and end over end. He just kicked that to Route 309, and the receiver, number 81, Teddy Maxian, who was out there, tried to tiptoe on the back line of the end zone. He said, "Why am I doing this? I'm just going to step out, and we're going to take a touchback and get a 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line."
The Storm team is real fired up, and number 26, Aaron Robinson, just had a huge collision at the 30-yard line, and you could tell these guys are jumping around and ready to play some football on this Saturday night after that big loss last week. So this team is real fired up. You could just tell by their body language.
Exactly, and obviously when looking at the schedule for the Delaware Legacy, I mean, obviously coming up with a season-opening win, but back-to-back road games against 2 perennial teams such as the Wolves and now the Lehigh Valley Storm. Unfortunately, this is a continuation of last Saturday, and so far the Legacy haven't found an answer. And I mean, they've gotten a couple of breaks because of penalties against the Storm, but they don't quite have a first down as of yet.
Yeah, and this is a team that really can't get the job done. So it's 21-0 now, but there is plenty of football left in this game. So these guys have to keep pushing. They have a ton of playmakers.
Okay, so it is 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line for the Delaware Legacy, and they line up with a receiver on the left-hand side. Now they got a somebody coming in, probably going to line up in the tight end, and the Legacy right now are very confused. They're going to have to use their second time out of the first half.
Yeah, and that's their second time out there, so they are a little bit confused. And just like I said, the Storm came out and really punched them in the mouth early on and do what they know how to do. And not only is the offense getting it done, LeHue hitting Jaleel Clark on that skinny post, but the defense is coming up huge. Mike Kuzer on that sack fumble by Joe Davis, and then also the special teams game to start the game. A huge kick return by number 87, Chris White. So offense, defense, and special teams getting it done here for the Storm in the first quarter.
Absolutely. And just so you know, the other sponsors for Lehigh Valley Storm, Shruti Pub and Restaurant, located on 1853 North Hampton Street in Easton, Pennsylvania. Reach them out, 610 area code 829-1211. That's 610 area code 829-1211. Also brought to you by the Scott family of dealerships, the Scott Lot, Scott Chevrolet, Scott Cadillac, Scott Mazda, and Scott Volvo, with all lots located on Lehigh Street in Allentown, Pennsylvania. Also brought to you by the Kula Children's Center, located on 833 North 13th Street in Allentown, meeting your child care needs. Remember, there are plenty of other sponsors that the Lehigh Valley Storm football team have. Check them all out at lvstormfootball.com. So, as we get back into action here, It is 1st and 10 for the Delaware Legacy at their own 20-yard line. They've already used 2 of their 3 timeouts here in the first half. And their quarterback, who I believe is Thompson, will take the snap. They hand it off around the right side. It looks like Corbin, who will try and escape a tackle. There's no way he can, as he is brought down for a loss. Brian Arroyo and Cordell Morgan, both on the stop, but brought down to 19-yard line for a loss of 1.
Arroyo and Morgan really are on every play here early on for this defense. Number 37, who's had a great season so far, is making a lot of big plays here on kickoff and on the defensive aspect for the Storm.
And it's certainly working out well for them right now, because right now the Storm dominating here in this game, 21-0 now, under 3 minutes left here in the first quarter. 2nd and 11 for the Legacy, whom, unlike the Lehigh Valley Storm, they do the complete opposite. They take their time, call their play, make sure they have everyone's assignment, and see if they can execute it. Unlike the Storm, they have it all set, and they're always in motion. So let's see what happens. 2nd and 11 from the 19-yard line. We'll see what happens here as we have a big line along the right side. 1 receiver on the left and a single setback. Back goes their quarterback, Thompson, looking. He's hit as he throws the ball, and it is incomplete. It was intended for T.J. Brooks. Their quarterback, Thompson, just got shillelied. I'm almost certain that, I'm not sure who it was.
Luther Wilson.
Luther Wilson. He was able to jackhammer him, and that was close to being roughing the passer.
Yeah, big Luther Wilson just got to the quarterback real fast, and Tajmir Flood had great coverage on the wide receiver out there, and the quarterback, Thompson, just threw up a bomb and a prayer, and there was nothing really doing. Defensive line getting the job and getting to the quarterback, and Flood, great coverage.
Okay, so now 3rd and 11 for the Legacy at their own 19-yard line. Like I said, the gentleman who's wearing the quarterback number is number 17. It is listed as Zach Grulich, but he's listed as a kicker. But you have to remember, too, that this is the stuff I got from the Delaware Legacy Facebook page, and I'm only going by that. Lots of things have changed between back now and then, but it's all we can hope for, so we apologize if the names get pretty messed up here. 3rd and 11, Legacy at their own 19-yard line, single setback, again a receiver on the left. Back goes Thompson as the quarterback draw, and couldn't draw up anything. He is brought down right away by Grady Pizarro, and maybe for a half a yard, and I think it's 3 and out again for the Legacy.
Yeah, another big player for this Storm defense, number 35, Grady Pizarro, and really nothing doing there. The quarterback would have been swallowed up, and he just took a couple steps forward, tried to make something happen on 3rd and long, and the linebacking core just swallowed him up, and another 3 and out there for the Lehigh Valley Storm.
Okay, so now the Legacy will punt, and if I'm not mistaken, if they do have a kicker, if it's Zach Grulich, he's the one that will be punting. And back there for the Storm look to be John Kennedy, who I'm calling for the first time all year, and Yusuf Reddick. Reddick is the deep man, and the Legacy are going to look to try and punt. All of a sudden now Kennedy moves forward, and the punt is very short. Kennedy's going to take it at the 45, run around the near side of the 40, and put out of bounds at about the 30, maybe the 29. They're going to say the 30. Now a very late flag comes in. John Kennedy, a 15-yard return off of a 26-yard punt, but a flag at the end of the play, I'm assuming unsportsmanlike conduct. We'll see what the official says. No! An illegal block in the back against the Storm. That was one of the latest flags that I have seen.
I actually saw it. It was by number 6, Joe Davis, right on the sideline. It was a very unnecessary block, and once it happened, I thought about it, and so did the ref, and after about 2 or 3 seconds threw the flag. So that's another mental mistake for the special teams of the Storm.
Well, I mean, this is a case of should I or should I not throw the flag, because that was extremely late, and usually those flags usually result in some sort of extracurricular activity at the end of the play. In this case, it was simply an illegal block, which probably happened at the very end of the play, and consequently a very late flag. So 10 yards from, I would have to say, the end of the play, and the Storm will have it 1st and 10. Good field position still as they're at the Legacy 40-yard line.
Yeah, great field position, but it's not as good as it should be. Number 6, like I just mentioned, Joe Davis, who had that fumble recovery for a touchdown, just not being too smart at the end of the play there, and on a good return by number 24, John Kennedy. So it pushes him back a little bit, but they're still going to start on the Delaware Legacy 40-yard line going in, looking to continue this route that they have started so far in the first quarter.
Well, the officials are discussing something with the Storm offensive line, and with 1:19 left here in the first quarter, we can tell you once again that this is Judith Adele Agentis Foundation Night here at Salisbury High School in Allentown. Of course, more information can be found on them at jaacf.org. Again, jaacf.org for the Judith Adele Agentis Charitable Foundation. First and 10 for the Storm at the Legacy 40-yard line. Looks like Sean Myers is still left. Michael Thomas in motion. Here's the snap, and they're going to hand it off along the inside to Sean Myers, and it didn't quite work out. He ends up losing two, being brought down by number 29. Oh, no, I'm sorry, number 15. Brandon Crenshaw was able to grab that one for a 2-yard loss.
And they said number 8, Michael Thomas in motion, just ran a little draw to Myers out of the backfield, and Brandon Crenshaw, number 15, made a great play at the defensive end position just to swallow him up for a TFL.
Then tackle for loss.
You know that.
Well, be careful how you describe those acronyms. Second and 12 from the 42. Back goes here in the shotgun low. He's got to throw along the side. He's got Jaleel Clark at the 30. He's still running to the 20. Into the red zone. Down to the 15-yard line. A gain of 27 before being brought down by Sarah Alexander. A first down for the Storm after a 2-yard loss. The Storm's like, oh, no problem.
Yeah, and these wide receiving cores love catching that ball and getting yards after catch. You know Jimmy LeHue loves that, and this run and gun offense is stepping on the pedal here.
Well, we have come to a quarter time now here at in the Lehigh Valley at Salisbury High School. We switch sides as we go to quarter number 2. The Lehigh Valley Storm 21, the Delaware Legacy nothing. Now, you're saying you have a show coming up Monday night, don't you? I think you mentioned that before, but why not say it again?
I do have a show coming up. I'm not going to mention, like I did in the previous weeks, that it is going to be at Trudy's Pub and Restaurant because I'm not too sure, and according to owner Steve Lombardo, he will let me know. But Monday nights, it actually was changed from 8 to 9 p.m. to 7 to 8 p.m. Last week, I was actually sick on Monday, so it was on Tuesday, but it's usually Monday nights is the post-game wrap-up show. Now from 7 to 8 p.m. and then from 9 to 10 p.m. on Thursday nights is my pregame show. And you should definitely check it out. Also like me on Facebook on JJ-Storm Football Radio. And just get all information. This week we had Bob Agentis on, the CEO and founder of the Judith Adele Agentis Charity Foundation. And it just, we do interviews with coaches and players. So make sure that you always tune in. It's always a great show on Monday and Thursday nights.
Now, this is the first I've heard of this, so you're moving the show up to 7, 8 o'clock. Now you tells me.
Did you like my Facebook page? I let everyone know.
Well, of course I do, but you gotta remember, I can't always check on the free Wi-Fi, and my phone's a flip, so I'm not gonna be paying unnecessary things here, so... Oh, my goodness gracious. But anyway, it is first and 10 in the red zone for the Storm at the Legacy 15 as we begin the second quarter of play. By the way, an update from Ed in Storm Central that it's 14-0. The Somerset Bears lead the New Jersey Bravehearts. That game is in the second quarter. And how about the performance by the Brooklyn Mariners last night? 54-24 over the Westchester Warriors. So that's a big win for Brooklyn, who's a very, very historic semi-pro team out of Sheepshead Bay, I believe they are. I've been to their stadium a few years ago, and I'll tell you what, had a heck of a game against the Central Penn Piranha. Although they lost, it was a pretty memorable day, especially the fact that it was September 11 when those two teams played. Anyway, an illegal substitution foul has moved things up to 1st and 5 for the Storm at the 10-yard line. Sean Myers, a single setback, again for receivers. Michael Thomas now going in motion. He moves left, back goes LeHue, short drop, throw the middle, caught by Clark, and he gets hit at about the 2-yard line, does not get in the end zone. Clark ends up getting 9, but the only consolation out of this, it's 1st and goal for the Storm.
Exactly, 1st and goal, and a nice pass from LeHue to number 9, Jaleel Clark, who I thought was going to have a big game, and so did Mike Kuzer. So I'm interested to see what they're going to do right now, pass again, or maybe give a handoff inside to Sean Myers.
Well, we'll have to wait and see how this goes, but it is 1st and goal at about the 1-yard line. I think give it to Myers. Here's the snap. They do give it to Myers. He's going to sweep to the left, tiptoe around, and now he scores! Welcome to the end zone. Sean Myers ran about 20 yards parallel to the goal line and finally found a hole, took the corner and said, I got this. And the Storm did 39 seconds into the second quarter, and they have 27 on the board.
Great athleticism by number 23, Sean Myers. There was a little draw to the inside, nothing to do, and bounce it out for a touchdown on 1st and goal. And the Storm are really coming out and attacking this big front seven for the Delaware Legacy early on.
And like I said last week, it's a matter of teams playing another at the wrong time like the Giants did 2 weeks ago. And here's the extra point coming up. Snap, kick on its way, and it is good to make it 28-0 for the Lehigh Valley Storm. And here, with the Storm coming off their loss last week, boy, the Legacy are feeling the Storm right now.
Yeah, the Storm are definitely getting the best of the Legacy right now. And I don't think that the Legacy have the first down. The defense is playing great, and the special teams kickoff is playing great. If it wasn't for a couple little mental errors on the part of the Storm, I would say this game is close to picture perfect for them right now. But 28-0. There's still 14-21 left in the second quarter, so they're going to keep their foot on the pedal and continue doing what they're doing. And they know that they want to prove themselves and to everyone else watching that they're a very good football team, which I know that they are.
Well, Hughes thrown 2 touchdown passes, one to Devon Gordon, one to Jaleel Clark. Joe Davis snatched the ball out of the quarterback hands in the end zone for a score. Now Sean Myers has a 1-yard touchdown run to his credit. So in 15 minutes and 39 seconds, the Storm, they're compiling 28 points. And ironically enough, considering all the games they played, this is game number 5, and the Storm have scored no fewer than 27 points in each of their games.
Wow, yeah, I mean, this offense is has a lot of guys and a lot of talent and great players, and I could see why. They really get the job done on the offense side of the ball, and the defense always puts them in great field position.
Eppelman now kicks it off high and end over, and way back there is Teddy Maxey. He's going to run it out. He'll take it around the left side to the 10. He has a hole if he wants it. He stirs to the left side, crosses the 20, and goes down to about the 25-yard line before being brought down by Daniel Wynn. So Wynn, who's out of Whitehall High School, he was able to bring him down, and the Legacy will try it again, 1st and 10.
So here comes the Storm offense, and I talked to head coach Lou Johnson before this game. Was a great track record on 18-2 regular season. He's taken 0-30 team, and in the XEFL and taking them to win that championship. So they have a great coaching staff, and you know that they're going to have something drawn up, and against this great defense of the Storm, they're going to try and get something going here.
And let's also not forget this team played very well in the league they were in earlier this year, the Northeast Athletic Football League, and they compiled themselves a very good regular season record. I didn't get the opportunity to see how they finished, but I know they did win 7 of their first 8 games, so this is a good team, but right now they're playing a superior Lehigh Valley Storm team that has come for business, and boy, they mean business today. 1st and 10, the Legacy at their own 25-yard line. Their quarterback hands it off, round away to number 8, who will not get much at all, and there looked to be a big tackle there by Joe Davis. The runner was Calvin Corbin, it looks like, so maybe a loss of a half a yard, but unless you had constipation, what did I miss?
You missed the biggest hit I've seen all season. Number 23, Sebastian Wilson, met number 55 for the Storm in the hole and absolutely pancaked them. I mean, that was a huge hit, but Joe Davis made a great play at outside linebacker.
That was more Johann Sebastian Bach and his Bach-breaking toccata and fugue in D minor on a football field.
That was a huge
with no organ.
That's a huge fullback.
That was a thud with a giant bass there. But anyway, 2nd and probably about 11 from the 24-yard line. This time a traditional I formation for the Legacy, a receiver on each side. And now everybody jumps, and it's raining yellow. I'm sure you've seen enough flags after you saw your preseason game last night.
I was getting frustrated during that game. I was even upset when they were calling hands to the face and giving the Eagles first downs. I mean, there was laundry all over the field, but I heard on the radio driving in today that they're just doing that to try, and they're not going to call that during the regular season. They're just trying to enforce that illegal contact and hands to the face is something that they're going to keep an eye on.
Well, keep an eye on, and actually executing those penalties will be something to see. That might be 4.5-hour football games.
It was every single play.
Yeah, anyway, it was a false start on the Legacy. The right side of the line moves, so back it up 5. It'll be 2nd and we'll say about 15 and a half, just outside the 20-yard line. I formation split right this time. Receiver on each side for it looks like David Thompson will take the snap, throw off his back foot a screen. It is caught by Corbin, has some room. Look out, 25, 30, down to the 35-yard line before being brought down a nice tackle by Paul Bolden. But it is the first down of the day for the Delaware Legacy.
Yeah, that kid Bolden is actually all over the field tonight, but that's the first down, and you can see a little bit of the weapons that this Delaware Legacy football team has, so they're going to try and continue after the first down of the game and get something going.
Gain of 16 on the play, and the Legacy moved the chains for the very first time. 11:50 till halftime, 28-0 in favor of the Lehigh Valley Storm. 2 touchdowns passed by Jimmy LeHue, a defensive touchdown in the end zone, and of course Sean Myers had the last one. 1st and 10 from the 35-yard line for the Legacy, and your worst nightmare just happened, another flag. You might as well put washer and dryer on both sides of the field.
There's laundry all over the place.
Well, it's a false start against the Legacy that time, so back it up 5 and say, hey, we can make it 16 yards in one play. Almost sounds like the football version of Name That Tune. But it is 1st and 15 now for the Legacy at the 30-yard line. So again, it's cohesion amongst the offensive line. It just does not seem to be there, and that's why we're seeing a lot of mental mistakes on their front.
Yeah, they're kicking themselves in the foot, and well, 1st and 15 they're going to have to do again, and obviously that's not helping them out in their drive attack here.
Well, you'd really hurt yourself if you kicked yourself in the foot. You probably wouldn't be standing. Anyway, 1st and 15 from the 30-yard line. Here's a handoff up the middle. That number 29 kid, 39 actually, who's not listed anyway. But anyway, he pulls up the middle and gains 5 back to the original line of scrimmage at the 35. So a nice run on 1st down. Actually, they're going to say a gain of 4. They stopped him at the 34. Be 2nd and 11.
Yeah, I actually haven't seen too much of the Veer offense. They're just lining up and trying to pound the football in between the tackles. Here in the middle of the defense is doing a great job for the Storm.
Okay, 2nd and 11. Ball be spotted at the 34-yard line, and we're going to see what their quarterback does here. David Thompson, who I believe is the quarterback. Their main quarterback, Isham Poe, who's a quarterback and wide receiver, unfortunately couldn't make the game for personal purposes. I will not say why that's the case, but that's what we've got. 2nd and 11. Here's a handoff again up the middle, and the Storm defense flying around, maybe getting a yard on the play. Again, looked like the number 39 character was able to move it up to the 35-yard line. So 3rd and 10 now for the Legacy.
Yeah, defensive end number 50, Carl Kreider, actually made that play possibly. Dove at the fullback's ankles, and then the running back really had nowhere to go, and the Storm defense just corralled and made a play. So it's going to be a 3rd and 10 opportunity here for the Delaware Legacy.
Okay, so 3rd, and we're going to say 10 from the 35-yard line. The Legacy, of course, taking their time. Once again, keep in mind that both teams are wearing black uniforms, but it seems like for the Storm, they know exactly what the differences are because they have white and silver stuff around their pants, and the Legacy do not. They're all black. 3rd and 10 from the 35. Split backs now. It's going back as a quarterback. He's going to roll to his right. Gets a block. He'll throw to the right. And the pass is incomplete. Intended for Josh Brown along the near sideline. But Jaron Elder said no. And the Legacy will punt.
Yeah, he was open. That would have been a huge play for the Legacy. But Jaron Elder just said not here. There wasn't too much power on that throw. And it gave Elder a chance to make a great play. And he did.
He certainly did, and it'll be 4th down now. It'll be punting time again. It looks like I would have to say Corbin will try to punt once again. 9:05 till halftime. The Storm lead 28-0 over the Delaware Legacy. Of course, we're getting some scores. Ed and Storm Central checking things out at the moment here. And I'm trying to see exactly what other scores we're going to get, but we'll get them as we go along here, so no rush. So we're on 4th down. Here's the snap and a high punt. It'll be taken by Yusuf Reddick on the run about the 33-yard line. He takes off to the 40, has some room, crossing midfield near sideline, and then slips and falls. And is there a fumble on the play? Is there a fumble on the play? It is a fumble, and the Legacy recover. Reddick I think, tried to get up and had lost the ball. The Legacy ended up falling on it, and a special teams turnover. That's rare for the Lehigh Valley Storm, and that could give the Legacy a little life.
Yeah, Yusuf Reddick had a sideline there, and he just slipped trying to make a cut inside, and he should have just stayed down. He tried to get up, and it just threw off everything, and the Legacy forced a fumble right on the sideline there, and that's maybe the break that they needed to put a drive together and get back into this football game.
Well, technically, both teams have now turned the ball over. Obviously, the Storms resulted in immediate points. Here, the Storm turned the ball over as Yusuf Reddick slid down at about the Legacy 41, tried to get back up. That was his mistake. He ends up fumbling it. The Legacy get it back, and they get a new set of downs to go with it. So, in essence, the equivalent of the longest defensive holding penalty you'll ever see in your life.
Correct.
1st and 10 for the Legacy at the 41-yard line. An I format split right. Here's a handoff right side. Nothing doing for whoever the running back was. He was brought down quickly by Keenan Walls. He wore number 44, but now I think he's wearing 42. Also, when Mike Kuzer on the play.
Yeah, Keenan Walls is another guy on this defensive line who really, he's a lot better against the run. Him and Carl Kreider and then Luther Wilson at this defensive line. He just made a great play. And once again, on 1st down, this Delaware Legacy football team is moving in the wrong direction.
Well, it's a 1-yard loss. It'll be 2nd and 11 for the Legacy. They're at their own 40-yard line. And they're going to line up on a receiver on each side. They always line up big, but it seems like the Storm, they've had more explosiveness toward the ball and toward the line. So obviously, they've been for pretty much dominating the line of scrimmage almost every play. Traditional I formation this time for the Legacy on 2nd and 11 from the 40. The Storm showing blitz, and somebody jumped. And I think the Storm got the Legacy to jump, and the officials are agreeing with them. So it looks like it's going to be a false start against the Legacy. The officials confirm another 5-yard penalty. It's like the 3rd one already for the Legacy in this quarter.
Yeah, the right guard for the Legacy just saw the blitz come, and the front 7 for the Storm really were about to send a bunch of guys in. And like I just mentioned, they're moving backwards, and they're just making it harder on themselves to put a successful drive together and get points on the board when it's now 2nd and 15, and they're just working with long conversion attempts each drive so far.
Well, think about this. Without your right guard, your whole offensive line would stink. So would your armpits. I mean, think about it. I mean, there is a little bit of truth in that, but I know, I had to go there anyway. The master of horrendously bad jokes. 2nd and 16 for the 35-yard line. In the I formation this time for the Legacy. Let's see what they can do. Back goes their quarterback. He's going to throw off his back foot, and the pass incomplete. It was intended for what looked to be Herbert Malachi, number 51. I mean, this is weird. You see number 51 lying up in an eligible receiving position, but the pass came up incomplete, and it'll be 3rd down.
Yeah, so it might be like what Keenan Walls did a couple weeks ago for us, just coming in as a defensive end and lining up eligible. But 51, there was nothing really doing there, and the defensive end just got in his face again, and they're really not letting the Delaware Legacy get anything done here, and they're putting pressure on them, and the defense is playing great in coverage as well.
Well, that's true. Don't forget Keenan. He had pretty much a fullback / running back number anyway, so he would have been eligible anyway. He was probably lined up as an extra tight end, and that's how that touchdown he got, I believe, against Northwest Giants 2 weeks ago. But anyway, it is 3rd and 16 for the Legacy at the 35-yard line. I formation again as their quarterback, Thompson, goes back. He's going to roll to his left, being chased very ferociously, and down he goes. He was taken down by his shirt, and the man who did it again, Paul Bolden. What a first half he's having.
Every single play, he's all over the field. These tackles for losses and on kick return and kickoff. This kid's all over the field right now for the Storm in the middle, and he's having a great first half.
Probably because he got the message that you would erase them from the list. And
he didn't like that too much.
Well, and look what he's doing right now. He's showing everybody, I belong here. And I'll tell you what, that's a heck of a first half he's had. And I'm sure there'll be some stats and stuff on him as we go along. Anyway, following the 5-yard loss, it is 4th and 21, and once again punting time for the Delaware Legacy. Their kicker goes up and kicks it. High pop-up that's going to go into the Delaware River probably in Phillipsburg, because that was high and in the air and went to the far side of the field. It landed out of bounds. The official says it'll be spotted just barely into Storm territory at the 49-yard line. So really, a 21-yard punt, and the Storm only have half a field to go to try and get some more points.
Yeah, once again, good starting field position for the Storm with 6 minutes left here in the first half. And you could look at Yusuf Reddick, number 3, and just see that he actually wanted to get that ball real bad and show his team that that fumble that he had just a couple minutes ago really wasn't something that he's used to doing, but he'll get his chance later on in this game, in the return game for sure.
Okay, Ridley is back in for the Storm here on 1st and 10. Ball spot their own 49-yard line. Caleb Fick is in the game for this one. So they're going to line up with 3 receivers on the left, and they hand off to Ridley, who crosses midfield, goes up center, and maybe gets 3 into Legacy territory to the 48-yard line before being brought down by Mark Taberi.
And the Thunder and Lightning package is back here for the Storm in the first half. Portion of the game, we saw Sean Myers, and now backup quarterback and running back Raheem Ridley's in the game, so they're definitely going to try and pound the ball, in my opinion, here.
Okay, 2nd and 7 from the 48-yard line to Legacy. Once again, Fick at quarterback in the shotgun. 4 receivers, 3 to the left. High snap, he can't hang on to it, and he's got to protect the ball in his own territory at the 45-yard line. Touched up by number 58, who, guess what? He's not on our list, but still a 7-yard loss, and the Storm have good 3rd and 14 coming up.
Yeah, that's something that could happen with the backup quarterback in the game and trying to do something different with Jimmy LeHue on the sideline. So now it's going to be a 3rd and long attempt for Caleb Fick and the offense of the Storm at their own, 45-yard line.
Yes, indeed, at their own 45, 3rd and 14 coming up. We're down to 4:35 and counting till halftime. 28-0 in favor of the Storm over the Legacy. In the shotgun, 4 receivers, 2 on each side this time. Fick in the shotgun, waiting for the snap to come about.
A lot of confusion right
now.
The
Storm, they're not 100% sure exactly what play they're going to run. I mean, they could use a timeout if they wanted to. I mean, you're up 4 touchdowns, but instead they go for it. Back goes Fick. Throw up the middle, way too high and incomplete. That was intended for Agaman Moore, but it was just over his head. And the Storm, in a rare instance, go 3 and out.
Yeah, in my opinion, the Storm should have called the timeout there. There were tight ends and wide receivers looking at backup quarterback Caleb Fick what to do. I thought that head coach Bob Kohler was going to call a timeout that they have and see what to do on 3rd and long opportunity there, but that's almost something that I saw coming, and Bobby Eppelman's on the field for the first time at the punter position right now for the Storm.
Okay, so it'll be 4th down. It'll be punting time for Bobby Eppelman, his first one. Back there to return. Looks like, I think it's number 9. It's listed as Gerard Harvey, but I don't think it's a linebacker that's going to be returning punts unless he wants to run over everybody from the Storm and has ridiculous 4.2 speed. And the punt is high and end over end. It will take a Legacy bounce, and they're just going to let it bounce at about the 25-yard line. So Eppelman with only a, I'd say, 30-yard punt, and I thought there was going to be some roughing in the kicker because there were a couple bodies going down right after the punt.
Yeah, a lot happened in that play. 2 guys for the Legacy on defense actually ran into each other and almost hit Bobby Eppelman. It would have been running into the punter and not roughing, and it wouldn't have given him the first down, but it would have been a re-punt, so that was something to look for, and there was extracurricular activity also after the game, so it's getting chippy out here right now. Legacy versus Storm. So,
well, yeah, of course, with the Storm leading 28-0, the Legacy being frustrated, and of course, let's not forget they lost 51-6 last week. So, when you have almost 6 quarters of being completely dominated, you're going to be frustrated.
Yeah, you can only hold back so much. So they want to get their offense, put together a nice drive here. There's 3:48 left and running clock right now in the first half. So they're going to try and use their playmakers and get something going.
And remember, the Legacy only have 1 timeout left here in the first half. So their quarterback, Thompson, will line up with a receiver on each side, I formation, and they're going to run the ball up to about the 28-yard line. I think they got that number 29 kid again for a pickup of 4, and I'm not sure it made the stop. I think it was Kreidler.
Yeah, it was Kreider, and guess who? 57, Paul Bolden. That kid is literally on every single play for the Storm defense right now.
He's making a bold statement that he needs to stay on the Storm defensive line. That's for sure.
It's only a matter of time before you said that.
It's fun. You had that.
I love
it.
I love it.
You know you could have used it.
It's better when you use it.
I don't know about that, but you know. Anyway, it is 2nd and 8. We'll say it was only a gain of 2 to the 29-yard line. So again, the same formation, a traditional I format. Thompson hands up, fullback up the middle. Nothing happening this time, as being blown down for like a 3-yard loss was Sebastian Wilson, and he gets flattened by... I think Kreidler got in there, but I think Chris Medina had something to do with it too.
Yeah, Medina and Kreidler just got him right in the back, right in the backfield. There was nothing doing there. Another tackle for loss. This defensive line is playing great and linebacking core. The front seven for the Storm right now. They're just trying to line up and run it inside the tackles, and the Storm are saying no way.
We'll see if they can get one more play up before the 2-minute warning. Coming up on 2:10 and counting, and the Legacy just taking a good old time in the huddle. Down 28-0. I'm actually surprised. Down 4 touchdowns. They're still trying to run. They will run the clock to the 2-minute warning here. So that's where we are. 28-0 in favor of the Lehigh Valley Storm with 2 minutes left till halftime. This quick reminder, everybody, this copyrighted broadcast is being presented by authority of the Lehigh Valley Storm in conjunction with Major League Football, who derive approval to the announcers of this game. It's intended solely for the private non-commercial use of our audience and may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or disseminated in any form without express written consent. That includes all accounts and descriptions given in tonight's game. The Lehigh Valley Storm would like to thank you all for your continued support. We're hoping you're enjoying today's broadcast online. You better be, with the Storm leading 28-0 at the 2-minute warning. This game, by the way, is the property of Major League Football in conjunction with the Lehigh Valley Storm and Delaware Legacy, with all rights to this broadcast reserved under international conventions. Too much of a mouthful, isn't it?
Impressive. I don't think I could do that if I was reading it off a paper. But yeah, the Storm defense right now is up against a 3rd and about 8 or 9 opportunity, and there's 2 minutes left. So you know that the Legacy are going to try and pull something out of their hat here and pick up a first down and get a drive going. You know that they want to get points on the board before halftime and don't want to give the ball back to Jimmy LeHue and this high-powered offense. And that's obviously the last thing that they want to happen right before halftime.
Exactly. And at this point, we just want to remind everybody very quickly about Pepsi being the primary sponsor of Lehigh Valley Storm football. See what's now and on the verge by going to Pepsi.com and feeling the real big summer of the Pepsi Pulse. And right now, the Storm really do have a pulse, and it's a pretty healthy one right now. Just to recap, 2 touchdown passes by Jimmy LeHue. 3rd play of the game, a 24-yard touchdown strike to Jaleel Clark, and then a 32-yard strike on the 2nd possession to Devon Gordon, which made it 14-0. Then a strip fumble by Mike Kuzer in the end zone, recovered by Joe Davis, and then a 1-yard touchdown run by Sean Myers. That's your scoring right now, as it is 28-0 in favor of the Lehigh Valley Storm right now. 2 minutes till halftime. Remember, the Storm have all 3 of their timeouts, and Delaware only has 1 left. As we have 3rd, and we're going to say about 9 from the 29-yard line. Their quarterback Thompson again lining up 3 wide, slot left this time. Back he goes. He's going to throw a lateral to number 19. That's TJ Brooks, who gets across 35 and down to about the 40. I think he got a first down there. Yes, he did. Nice pickup of 10 yards on the play, and the Legacy moved their chains, and they have to do it quick.
Yeah, it looks like the coaching staff of the Legacy watched the film last week. The Storm struggled against the shovel pass and the screen, so that was a nice play call to pick up a first down for the Delaware Legacy.
Very surprising we haven't seen that play yet. 1st and 10 for the 40-yard line for the Legacy. Single setback. Back goes Thompson. Look, he's under a rush. He's in trouble. And it looks like down he goes. Yes, indeed. Goes down at about the 34-yard line. And looks like Joe Davis again. He brings him down. I can see a couple people are wearing their neon greenish yellow socks. Boy, that should be a different style. I'm not sure we're going to go to the Whitehall Mall down on 22 to get those. But you know what? Hey, at least it helps. Oh, wait, there we got a flag down, I think. Or do we? Okay, no, it's the Legacy just backing up. I've been seeing flags when they weren't there, and there have been flags down where I haven't seen. So, needless to say, I might be the one needing the eye doctor at the end of the night. All right, after the sack by Davis, 2nd and 17, ball spotted at the 33-yard line. And we'll see what happens. Single setback, and they're going to line up 3 wide, slot to the right this time. Thompson under center, takes a snap. He throws off his back foot. It's caught by Maxian, and Maxian has nowhere to go. He ends up losing 3. Brought down by... you fill in the blank.
I didn't even see who brought him down, but it is a little interesting there. It almost seems like the Delaware Legacy weren't really trying to push and score before halftime. They almost didn't want the Lehigh Valley Storm to get the ball back. I don't know if that was their approach, but There's only now, what, 12.1 seconds left in this first half. It looks like there's someone injured on the play.
Yes, it is a 3-yard loss, and there's an official timeout. By the way, it was Bolden who made the tackle. The one that was down was Larry Floyd. He's being helped off. And that might cost the Storm a timeout because of the official break. So that'll make it 2 timeouts left for the Storm. But they have it only down to 20 seconds till halftime. I mean, my goodness, they showed real no sense of urgency at all. The officials trying to decide whether the clock is correct.
Yeah, well, it was 12 and now 20. I know that it's less than 20 seconds.
I know we're getting older, but for goodness sake, where's the time going?
Yeah, so what is it, 3rd and 16, 17 now coming up, and coach is on the field, so they will watch maybe for a trick play here from the Legacy and try and put one in and put points on the board right before halftime.
Well, after all, you do practice these things in preseason. You could find them right here, too. So the ball spotted the 30-yard line. It was a 3-yard loss. It'll be 3rd and 20 for the Legacy. Again, they have only 1 timeout left. I think the long delay is the fact that the Storm used the timeout, and it was because of the injury. So under 2 minutes in the half, that means you lose a timeout if somebody is injured on one end. So the Storm had, of course, the Floyd injury, so it cost them a timeout. 3rd and 20 from the 30-yard line as Thompson has an empty backfield this time, takes a snap, and he tries to do a draw play. And did he lose the football? Did he lose the football? The Storm say they have it. We'll see what the officials say. Kashmir Flood says the Storm has it. And the officials agree. The Storm get the football. I'm not sure recovered. I'd have to say Carl Kreidler had that one. And the Storm will have an opportunity with 14 seconds till halftime to put even more points on the board.
Yeah, a little bit of a reminder of what happened last week. And they actually hit Jaleel Clark on that little post. And unfortunately, he fumbled the ball. So they're going to try and add to their 28-0 lead right now. 14.2 left in the first half. And they're going to try and punch it in and maybe hit Clark or Jordan or who knows. They have so many weapons, and Hugh back on the field trying to add to their lead.
Watch him try Michael Thomas here.
Yeah.
I mean, we haven't called his name much. I don't know if he's on the field for this play. But again, the Storm with 2 timeouts, 1st and 10 in Legacy territory. Ball spotted at the 30-yard line. By the way, that was the 2nd turnover by the Legacy in this first half. Of course, the other one resulted in that immediate touchdown. In the pistolero, like you in the shotgun, 3 wide slot to the left. Back he goes. They're going to hand it off, and I don't think that was exactly what they had in mind as Rob Kuzer had it, but Kuzer ended up going way backward for a 9-yard loss, and the Storm said, you know what, let's just go in the locker room and say, regroup. But you know what? That's fine with them.
Zaire Alexander, number 26, was shot out of the cannon from the quarterback position, and I mean, being down 20, if there's anything positive that you can look from that half, that's a big play for the Legacy. And 28-0 in the first half for the Storm, who came out real hard and came out and, like I said before, punch them in the mouth. You know that the Legacy are going to be making adjustments at halftime and trying to get that offense going.
It's called regroup on both ends, and for the Storm, you couldn't ask for a better first half. They certainly responded the way they did. So we'll go ahead and get ourselves a little bit of a snack here on snack break, knowing it could be 4 minutes or it could be 14 minutes or it could be 24 minutes if we're in Albany, but you know. Yeah. But what a great first half of the Lehigh Valley Storm as here at Salisbury High School in Allentown, Pennsylvania, here on Judith Adele Agentis Foundation Night. The Lehigh Valley Storm lead the Delaware Legacy at halftime by a count of 28-0. So let's go ahead. We'll get ourselves a snack. We'll get the folks going with a little R&B stuff or whatever you want. I don't know if they like the techno or not, but I got to do my own online radio station here. Anyway, we'll get you some music in the meantime while we take a little breather. We'll come back for the second half of the Storm and Legacy Major League Football Storm Radio on Hot101.net. It's coming back at you in a few minutes, so hang with us, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, just a quick announcement that here at Salisbury High School in Allentown, tonight the Lehigh Valley Storm are proud to present Judith Adele Agentis Night, the charitable foundation for help, hope, and health. Now, the Judith Adele Agentis Foundation is a charitable foundation established to provide meals to hospice centers and to provide testing, early detection, awareness, and education about pancreatic and liver and colon cancers. Now, Judy's Table provides, through food donations made by restaurants, bakeries, and grocery stores, meals to families visiting their loved ones in hospice, as well as the hospice staff, who are often unable to have regular meals due to the performance of duties at the hospice. The food donations are solicited through the foundation and picked up and delivered to the hospice by volunteers. Now, since pancreatic cancer shows little or no symptoms until late stages, the foundation will urge individuals to be screened and provide for payment of tests such as CAT scans, X-rays, and MRIs, and colonoscopies to at-risk individuals who cannot secure a medical script for the procedure or do not have medical insurance and cannot afford for payment of the test. Payments for this test will be secured through donations solicited from individuals, corporations, and businesses. The test will be administered through participating radiology centers, both private and institutional. If you would like more information on the Judith, if I can find it here, I'm sorry. If you want more information on the Judith Adele Agentis Charitable Foundation, visit their website at jaacf.org. Again, jaacf.org. It's the Judith Adele Agentis Charitable Foundation for help, hope, and help. And let's give a nice round of applause to those involved with the foundation who are with us tonight visiting here with the Lehigh Valley Storm.